Good afternoon. We're convening the Joint Committees on Transportation and Culture and the Arts and Labor and Technology on our joint 3:05 p.m. agenda here in State Capitol Conference Room 224. We have two measures on our agenda. 229, my mistake. Thanks for everyone's patience as we get started this morning or this afternoon. Just to make sure everyone has an opportunity to testify, we'll be asking folks to limit their testimony to about a minute to make sure we can get to everybody and make sure that your written testimony is submitted if you haven't already. That said, up first is Senate Bill 2894 related to transportation, which requires DOT to establish a state employee commuter benefits program. And testifying first is the Department of Transportation. Good afternoon.
Thank you, Chair Lee, Chair Kino. Tammy Lee for the Department of Transportation. The DOT stands on its written testimony supporting the intent of this measure. The Department of Human Resources Development, they have an existing pre-tax transportation benefit program, and the DOT feels that expanding on the existing program and having it under the purview of DEFER is beneficial. Thank you.
Thank you. Up next is the Department of Health. Good afternoon.
The Department of Health stands on this testimony to provide comments. Thank you.
Thank you. Hawai'i State Energy Office.
Chair, Vice Chair, members of the Chris Schenker for the Hawai'i State Energy Office. We stand our testimony and support and are available for questions.
Thank you. Ulupono Initiative. In support, Hawai'i Appleseed. Aloha.
Aloha, Vice Chair, members of the committee. My name is Abby Seitz. I'm testifying on behalf of Hawai'i Appleseed. We stand in strong support of this bill as free and reduced transit has been found to reduce household transportation costs, increase the usage of public transit, and also alleviate congestion, as well as just improve the overall efficiency of our transportation system. We've also provided some amendments to include bike share and other micromobility devices to the transportation modes covered by this benefit program. Mahalo for this opportunity to testify. Thank you.
Thank you. That's everyone we had signed up to testify. Is there anyone else wishing to testify in this measure? If not, are there any questions? All right, if not, thank you, everyone. Let's move on to the next measure, Senate Bill 2943, relating to workforce development, which establishes a working group within the Department of Transportation to address the workforce shortage of CDL drivers. And testifying first is the Department of Education. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, chairs and members of the committee. Tammy Chun, Deputy Superintendent for the Department of Education, standing on our comments regarding this bill. I'm happy to answer questions.
Thank you. Up next is the Hawaii Food Industry Association. In support. And that's everyone we had signed up to testify in this measure. Is there anyone else wishing to testify this afternoon?
Chairs, members of the committee, the DOT stands on its written testimony and support. I'm here for any questions.
Thank you. Anyone else on 2943? If not, are there any questions? All right, if not, thank you, everybody. We're going to move into decision-making on our 3:05 p.m. agenda on the two bills before us that we just heard. Brandon, can you be our de facto?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Chairs having conferred on the first measure, Senate Bill 2894 related to transportation, we'd like to recommend moving this forward with some amendments, adopting the Department of Transportation amendments to change the bill to focus it to amend the existing DEFER program rather than establishing a whole new one. And then secondly, adopting the MPO and other amendments or other recommendations, adding bike share and micro mobility devices and their associated definitions to the bill. Any discussion? If not, Acting Vice Chair, can you please take the vote?
Yep. Chair's recommendations to pass SB 2894 with amendments. Chair Lee.
Aye.
Vice Chair Inouye is excused. I vote aye. Senator Kanuha.
Aye.
Senator Awa is excused. Mr. Chair, recommendation is adopted.
Thank you.
Okay, Labor and Technology Committee, same recommendations. Any questions or concerns? Seeing none, Vice Chair for the vote. For Labor Committee, Chair votes aye, Vice Chair votes aye, Senator Ihara.
Aye.
Senator Lee,
Aye.
and Senator Favela. Senator Favela.
Here, aye.
Recommendation adopted.
Thank you. Moving on to the next measure, Senate Bill 2943, relating to workforce development. Recommendation is to pass this one forward just with technical amendments. If there's no discussion, Vice Chair for the vote.
Okay, Chair's recommendation is to pass SB 2943 with amendments of the three members present on transportation, culture, and arts. Are there any no votes or votes with reservations? Hearing none, Mr. Chair, recommendation is adopted.
Okay, Labor and Technology Committee, same recommendations. Any questions or concerns? Seeing none, Vice Chair for the vote.
All members present, anyone voting no, anyone with reservation, recommendation adopted.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. We're adjourned.
Okay, thank you very much. Welcome to our joint committees, Labor and Technology, and Energy, Economic Development, and Tourism. Okay, we do have a 3 p.m. agenda for 2 bills. Okay, it's, again, 3 p.m. agenda. We're in conference room 229, okay, not 224. Okay, and we do have a 1-minute testimony limit, okay? In the event that something happens catastrophically with YouTube and everything, they'll be reconvening at 4:30 today. Okay, hopefully that doesn't happen. Okay, all right, so Senate Bill 2942 relating to employment of a minor. Okay, up first we have Department of Labor, Industrial Relations.
Hello, Chair Spina, Chair DeCoy, members of the committee, David Rodriguez of the DOI. I stand for support.
Okay, thank you very much, Dave. Okay, up next we have IATSE Local 665, Irish Barber.
Irish Barber, Ko'inoa, IATSE Local 665, standing on our testimony. And we have several studio teachers here in support as well.
Okay, thank you very much. Up next we have SAG.
Hello, good afternoon. I'm Marisha Palma-Elmore with SAG-AFTRA, and we represent actors on set. And sometimes they're children and sometimes they're babies. So we just want to thank you for hearing this and also call special attention to the portion about the nurse. Note that in Hawaii, if a 6-week-old baby is going to be on set, as of now, there is no provision for a nurse or anyone to be there of that level of care for that baby. Other states do have it. And also note that if a baby or someone else comes in from California, those rules follow. So generally they are protected, but sometimes it happens when there is a young child on set or a baby on set and there's no one there for them. So thank you so much for hearing this bill, and thank you for giving us the opportunity to testify.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, up next we have Michael Goloi Jr., Stonewall Caucus. Okay. All right.
Good afternoon, Michael Goloi Jr. on behalf of the Stonewall Caucus. We stand in strong support of this legislation. It just needs to happen. We need to take care of our keiki on set, and this will do that. So we stand with the unions. We stand in solidarity, and we'd like to see you pass this bill. Mahalo.
Okay, thank you very much. Up next, we have Melissa Patak. Okay, support Hawaii State Fed AFL-CIO. Okay, support again Michael Goloi Jr. for Pride at Work. Okay, support Al Furuto. Okay, HNA. Okay, Marianne Tesaro. Yes, please.
I'm Marianne Tesaro. I'm a licensed teacher with the state of Hawaii, and I'm also a studio teacher with IATSE 665. I've been doing this for quite a while, and through the years, it just is very disturbing and disappointing to see minors released from school, released from the DOE, to come and work on set, which is an adult environment. And often their safety can be compromised, and they're not being educated. So that's why we're really hoping that this bill will pass, so these children will be protected and educated. I stand by my testimony, and I'm open to questions.
Thank you very much. Okay, Patricia Coughlin.
I'm Patricia Coughlin, and I'm a licensed state of Hawaii teacher. Teachers, we receive specialty training for the well-being and the education of children, either on the undergraduate level or some of us on the graduate level. And I believe it is very important to have a certified teacher on the sets because there are many, many activities and things going on, instructions from different people. So to look out for the well-being of the children, and in particular to address their educational needs during the downtime while they're waiting, I support this bill and I stand by my testimony.
Okay, thank you very much. Melissa Krupner.
Aloha, my name is Melissa Krutner. I am a teacher in Eva Beach, and I'm a referral studio teacher on set when there's no school. I work on set, and my children are actors here too. We came here from Maui so they could act more, and I can see the difference when there's a studio teacher on set. I feel like the kids are better cared for, it's safer, they get their breaks when they're supposed to. They're more protected, they have a separate place from the other background actors that where they can do their work and they can eat, and the teacher escorts them to the dressing room so they, nobody can bother them in wardrobe area. So I can just see a big difference on a set. I prefer having them on a set when there's a teacher there.
Okay, thank you very much. Jennifer Lopez.
Aloha, my name is Jennifer Lopez. I am a licensed teacher in the state of Hawaii. I'm also a studio teacher, and I'm also a parent to minors that often work on set as well. As a certified teacher, I've gone through rigorous screening, fingerprinting, and background checks, so I feel better working with the children because I've been on set both as a parent and as a studio teacher. And I agree that having the studio teacher, the safety and the well-being of the children is our number one priority when we are on set. And so I feel we're the ones making sure they're all together. We're the ones counting numbers at all times and making sure they're being well taken care of. And I stand by my testimony and I'm open to any questions.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, members, we do have one individual in opposition, but we had a total of 35 those in support. Any others wishing to testify? Senate Bill 2942. Seeing none, members, questions? Okay. Senator Ihara.
Let's see now. The Department, I guess, of Labor, and maybe someone else might add. My question is, are there, employment of minors? We're talking about 16-year-old minors. Are there workplace standards that are separate and distinct for workplace minors? And that's the first question. And then also, is there one that it might be even nationally? Because we're talking about a standard, and is this standard generally accepted or is it best practice, or how much, are we the first state or the last state, or how do we fit? Because this must happen in other places, although Hawaii must have more than maybe other states, but you have, maybe the union also can help too.
Well, I know in Hawaii, with the department.
If it's okay with you?
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Is that okay?
So other states do have this, and our section 50 of our CBA does address this specifically as far as when a minor is on set, what you need to have. If you look at the testimony that I provided, I do link to section 50 so y'all can read what that states. And as far as 50 states go, in my research, I do have a document that goes through and breaks down every single one of the 50 states, and I'd be happy to share that with you and your staff so you can see all the other states and what they do. Some states is nothing, and then of course California's got a whole manual on what they do, down to if you have a kid of this age, how strong your lights are and how long those lights can shine on your kid.
Okay.
So we wouldn't be reinventing the wheel, and I'd be happy to share that research with you.
Thank you. Okay, thank you very much. Members, any other questions? Okay, seeing none, Chair.
Moving on to Senate Bill 3103, relating to energy First testifier, Hawaii State Energy Office, Mark Glick.
Good afternoon, chairs, vice chairs, members of the committees. Cameron Black on behalf of the Hawaii State Energy Office. We stand on our written testimony in support of this measure. We believe this measure will help develop the skilled workforce we need to build the renewable energy projects needed in the coming decades to meet our energy goals. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, Jay Boutte for Department of Labor. Thank you. Next up, Nathaniel Kinney, testifying for Regional Council of Carpenters.
Chair and members, Nathaniel Kinney, Hawaii Regional Council of Carpenters. We stand in strong support of this measure. Prevailing wages and state apprenticeship programs are part of the Inflation Reduction Act, and those requirements that are in the Inflation Reduction Act say that if you have a project that has prevailing wages and a contractor that uses a state-approved apprenticeship program, then you qualify for like super duper tax credits. We believe that making this the rule means that the end user, the consumer, is going to have projects that are built cheaper because the tax credits are in effect, and that you'll be training the next generation of workers to be doing this. I have here, this is only one of the two binders. We have about 800 of our members who we met on the job site working on these solar projects who stand in support of this measure.
Nathaniel, thank you. Your time is up. And then
Sure.
we'll take that. Thank you. Next up, Jody Robinson for Blue Planet Foundation in support. Jonathan Cam, Business Development Director, Moss and Associates in support. Anatuya Sosopo, Operating Engineers, also in support. Noelani Derrickson, testifying for Tesla, in opposition with suggested amendments. Greg Shimokawa, on behalf of Hawai'i Electric, here, in person.
Hi, good afternoon, chairs, vice chairs, members of the committee. Greg Shimokawa for Hawai'i Electric. We stand on a written testimony offering comments and suggested amendment. Available for question. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, Chris Deloney, in support.
We stand on the written testimony in support of specific resource projects.
Thank you. Anyone else in the room wishing to testify on this measure?
Aloha, chairs, members of the council. Panevia Tonga, Deputy Political Director for Operating Engineers, Local 3. We have a written testimony from our district representative, Anatuya Sosopo. He just wanted me to come to say that our Local 3 is standing in support of this bill.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to testify? Seeing none, any questions from the committee members?
Yeah, just one quick word. Hawai'i Electric. Can you just abbreviate on your, because a lot of people don't have the purview to have your comments. Can you kind of share that comments? Like if you,
Sure.
summarize.
Sure. So I think we're supportive, and we have incentives for local labor, union labor in our procurement. So we're definitely encouraging that. I think the comments and the amendment language that we propose is really just to ensure that in the event where there's some unforeseen circumstance where that labor is not available, that's not going to be the impediment to the projects that we need for reliability, for renewable transition to get to where they need to get to. So that's all we're looking for, is just some backstop.
So right now, from today and back a few years, how much projects came online and how much projects actually use local labor and what we're all talking about here moving forward?
I don't have the numbers of how many of the projects and how much union labor was used. My understanding is that it's the majority of the, I think the developers and the union folks could speak to that a little bit better, but I understand that it's the
The
majority.
only reason why I asked the question, and maybe you can answer, I mean, I don't think PUC is over here, but PUC and Hawai'i Electric kind of knows on what coming in because you guys buy the energy from most of the solar companies, right?
That's correct. So we with the PUC's direction, right, we'll go out and we'll procure will solicit for projects. That's
Yeah,
correct.
so it's not your Kuleana, but the problem I have is that the Canadians come in and they bring all the people here and there's no work for our local people. So these are the kinds of things that we gotta make sure that we protect moving forward. And I know the PUC and you guys, when you guys put them out, you guys can put them within, when you guys put out the bid for these renewable energy projects. So I just want you to take that into consideration because these guys is flying by night. They go home with the money and nothing stays here. So I just wanted to let you know because Hawaiian Homes did a big one in our community and was all Canadians. And they tried to give them another project that's going to be built by Canadians. So just wanted to give you that heads up and whatever, if you can bring back the information later on. Thank you,
Okay.
Chair.
Thank you. Senator Morrow.
For DBED, so, hi, how are you? So under this statute, if we pass this bill, is that it's under 196, so DBED is the administering agency, so you would be enforcing this law.
Yeah, we would be responsible for collecting the declarations and attestations. As far as, enforcement, I think we would, if we're responsible for collecting the attestations, we would,
So if somebody's not in compliance, for example.
yeah, then the declaration would not be truthful, that they would file with us.
Okay, so I think, so one of the exemptions here that's being requested from HECO is in their testimony. Do you have their testimony?
I do, I
So-
have read it.
So in terms of that exemption, would that be something that is acceptable under your to be 196-X?
I think we need more time to discuss with this. I'm not prepared to answer that question right now. I'm sorry.
But DBED would be, Office of Energy or DBED would be the enforcement agency for whatever is required in the declaration. And if, I'm not sure I see any penalties or that accompany this. So it's just collecting the data.
Yeah, that's why I'm not sure the term enforcement, it's more like we collect the declaration attestation.
So this is just encouraging actions.
Well, if there's non-compliance, I suppose we would have to seek the appropriate redress.
And you're not prepared right now to say what this law will be in terms of encouraging apprentices and workers in renewable energy projects.
We think it would definitely send a message to the contractors and labor organizations that this is the standard that we want for new renewable energy projects in Hawaii. I'm not prepared to talk about the exception that was proposed in the Hawaiian Electric's testimony, but we do think this would make an impact because it would send a message to everybody that this is the bar that we set for our projects here.
So what the exemption does, without the label, what the exemption does is say it shouldn't, if they can't find apprentices, then it shouldn't stop the project. On the other hand, you say you have no enforcement capability under this law, or you don't see an enforcement arm to giving this any kind of teeth.
Yeah, I don't see any penalties in this bill.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh, Senator Ihara.
For HECO, under your proposed amendment to the bill, is it the intent, what is the intent in terms of who decides whether employees are willing or unable to be found? Is that HECO decides that?
No, I don't think so. I think that's, to be determined. I think this is a starting point with proposed language here. I think we're open to further discussion.
The language as you
The language as we have it.
is HECO decides, right?
I think it would need to be
because it's a new age, a new,
Right.
before the definitions.
Correct.
Right. So I'm trying to figure out I think if I read it right, HECO decides. Is there any language that indicates that someone else decides the exemption?
I don't think it reads necessarily that it's Hawaiian Electric that makes
Who
that.
would it be?
If it's the project developer or whoever makes the determination of hiring, that's out of our kuleana, whether they're, who does the hiring for the labor availability, that's out of our wheelhouse for
So
determining.
it's a project labor agreement team, the leaders there, they decide, they say, we cannot help you, we cannot do your project because we don't have enough.
We don't have enough
So
labor.
you'll just be the recipient of that notice that the project labor agreement team, whatever, are not able to.
We're not able to meet the requirements. You're right. I think to be determined how that plays out, but something like that.
Thank you. If I can have one of the unions or the board of the unions come up, please. So you guys heard the amendment that was asked, and I guess my question is, do you think the bill is needed in regards to moving forward? And as the amendment has been put forward by Hawaiian Electric, what's your guys' position on that?
My position or our position on the amendment is that it basically renders the bill ineffective. And the fact that they're saying that there isn't going to be labor belies the fact that, like, we're part of a nationwide network of people. If there isn't enough apprentices or journeymen, we could call people in Canada, we can call our locals in New England to California and get guys down here in a second. Train guys, safe guys. That's one. Two, as far as enforcement is concerned, there is a reference to Chapter 104, and I believe enforcement on Chapter 104 lies with the Department of Labor and Industrial Relations. So while DBED is, and the State Energy Office, or DBED itself, is the one collecting the attestations, any violations of Chapter 104 or state apprenticeship lies with the DLIR. So I think it is necessary to have these rules in effect. Other states like Oregon and other places that are doing a bunch of clean energy have these rules in effect. And again, this is an important part of workforce development and, most importantly, safety on the job site.
Thank you. If I could have them. Sure. Please. Okay. So for operating engineers, we are the largest local union in the United States. We cover Hawaii, California, Utah, and Nevada. When we hear that there's a labor shortage for construction, I'm kind of flabbergasted because there is no labor shortage for operating engineers, for the heavy equipment workers. We're very skilled people. In fact, when Lahaina happened, we had guys calling from the mainland saying, hey, we'll come over, we'll start working.
Us too.
We had a lot of guys, and we had to tell them no, because we don't have housing for you. You can find housing in Maui, yeah, sure, we'll transfer you to our local, you can come and work, because we need the bodies. So we transferred from the neighbor islands, brought them down, yeah. So when I hear there's a labor shortage for construction, that just blows my mind. Every year for our apprenticeship program, we have at least 600 people that apply, and we only can take so much. So when I hear there's a shortage, I don't think so. At least for operating engineers, we have a lot of people that want to become operators, and we try to accommodate as much as we can. Now, our apprenticeship program is based with our contractors and our union, right? So both sides got to decide. But we take a lot of people in every year and get them out, because we know there's work coming, and we know that we want local people here. In regards to renewable energy projects, we've lost some of those jobs. I think Senator Favela said it the best. We lost to California. That money went out. Our guys didn't have a chance to work on that. We're looking for a backstop. We'll go out and we'll try to hit these developers and try to work with them. But if they say, no, we're going to bring in our guys, we're done. There's no recourse. What this bill does with adding prevailing wage, it provides a backstop to say, hey, if you want to come in and you want to bring in your guys from Canada, sure, but you're going to pay the Hawaii standard, the standard for a living wage here in Hawaii, just like everybody else. That's what this bill is trying to do, is implement that standard, which we don't have. That's all.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Seeing none, we can go into decision making.
Yes, Chair. All right. Okay. So the first bill, Senate Bill 2942, relating to the employment of a minor. Okay. The recommendation is to move this as a Senate Draft 1, just with some technical amendments, and then we're gonna defect the date to July 1st, 2050, to encourage further discussion. Okay. Questions or concerns, members? Okay. Seeing none, Vice Chair for the vote.
Senate Bill 2942, Chair votes aye.
Aye.
Vice Chair votes aye. Senator Ihara?
Aye.
Senator Lee excused. Senator Favela?
Aye.
Recommendation adopted.
Okay, thank you.
Same recommendation for the Committee on Energy, Economic Development, and Tourism. Senator Kim for the vote, Chair votes aye.
For Senate Bill 2942, passed with amendments, Chair votes aye. Senator Wakai, excused. Senator Fukunaga, excused. I vote aye. Senator Favela?
Aye.
3 members present, 2 excused. Recommendations adopted.
Thank you. Next bill up, Senate Bill 3103. Recommendation is to pass with an SD1 with technical substantive amendments needed for clarity and consistency. Committee members, any discussion? Seeing none, Senator Kim for the vote, Chair votes aye.
Senate Bill 3103, passed with amendments. Any members on EET voting negative, voting with reservation? Hearing none, 3 members present, all voting aye. Recommendations adopted.
Okay, Committee on Labor and Technology, same recommendations. Any questions or concerns? Seeing none, Vice Chair.
Okay, SB 3103, all members present, anyone voting no, anyone with reservations, recommendation adopted.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, we're adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Joint Committees on Labor and Technology and Health and Human Services. For one bill, it's Wednesday, 3:30 PM agenda. We're in conference room 229 for decision-making only on Senate Bill 2474, relating to family leave. Okay, members, the recommendation is to move this as a Senate Draft 1. And there's a number of amendments I'd like to read out. Okay, for the Senate Draft 1, we're going to specify that the family leave program will be a trust fund and would be clarified throughout the bill to properly identify the nature of the fund. Okay, and that was requested by the Attorney General, I believe. Okay, in addition to that, we're going to specify that employers may deduct and withhold contributions, which was brought up by both the AG and Department of Labor. Okay, in addition, the LIR will be required to collect contributions from the employer's employees, which will be shared at 1/2 of the cost of the premiums per employee. Okay, in addition to that, the AG had made specific additional amendments, which is mentioned as the 4th, 5th, and 6th suggested amendments in the written testimony, which also includes a number of definitions such as next of kin and others. Okay? In addition to that, the DLIR had made certain requests for positions and funding, okay, which will be added to the committee report. This includes staffing, program management staffing, okay, claims admin staffing, program specialist staffing, as well as IT staffing. Okay, and I believe the total numbers that we received, which would again be in the committee report, is just short of $16 million. Okay, in addition to that, the LIR did mention in their testimony that $60 million in IT improvements would be needed. So we're going to add that in the committee report. And this would be effective July 1st, 2050 to foster further discussion. Okay, any questions or concerns, LBT committee? Okay, seeing none, Vice Chair for the vote, please.
Okay, SB 2474, passed with amendments. Chair votes aye. Vice Chair votes aye. Senator Ihara?
Aye.
Senator Lee excused, and Senator Favela.
Aye.
Recommendation adopted.
Okay, thank you very much.
So for Health and Human Services Committee,
Same recommendation with Senator Shimabukuro as vice chair for the vote. Chair votes aye.
Okay. Senator Aquino?
Aye.
Senator Keohalole? Excuse, Senator Shimabukuro is aye. Senator Awa? Excuse, measure adopted.
Okay, thank you very much. We're adjourned. Mahalo.